Rejection. It's something every board game designer faces, especially when pitching to publishers. You put your heart and your soul into a game, you playtest extensively, produce prototypes, travel to conventions, pitch the game, and they pass. It hurts, but it's not the end of the road. In this video, we're going to look at how to handle rejection, what it really means, and most importantly, how to turn it into an opportunity. I'm Adam Porter. I'm a board game designer from Wales, and I recently released my fourth book about board game design, Adam in Wales Getting Published, available now on Amazon. It provides a step-by-step guide from creating your game, prototyping, playtesting, choosing a publisher, making contact, creating sell sheets and sizzle reels, attending conventions, pitching, following up, dealing with rejection, signing contracts and more. The book adapts and expands upon the video essays first seen on this channel, so if you read it, please leave me an Amazon review. Now let's dive into one of the chapters from the book. You've pitched your game to a publisher, they don't want to publish it. How should we respond? Rejection is inevitable. This is a creative industry and it's super competitive. Just as an actor has to develop a thick skin and accept that 90% of their auditions will result in rejection, a board game designer needs to understand that rejection by a publisher isn't personal, it's simply part of the process. Rejection may not even be a reflection on the quality of your game. There are so many reasons a publisher might choose not to take on any specific project. Dealing with rejection gracefully, with humility, is essential if you want to have a lasting career as a game designer. The most successful game designers in the industry encounter rejection on a regular basis. Rejection is not reserved for newcomers. Designer Donald X. Vaccarino has talked in interviews about the number of rejections he received before Rio Grande agreed to publish Dominion, one of the most influential tabletop games of all time. But perhaps even more importantly, he's also indicated that he still has significant problems finding a publisher for his subsequent games, continuing to receive rejections on a regular basis. Publishers receive hundreds of game submissions each year, and even if all those games were of a high standard, they'd only be able to take forward a handful of them. Games are evaluated not just on the quality of their gameplay, but also on their alignment with the publisher's audience's expectations, their marketability, the cost of production, and the personal taste of the individual evaluating the game. It's natural to feel upset, frustrated, sad, or angry when you receive a rejection. It's natural to feel jealous of other game designers who appear to be having an easier time. There's no need to suppress those feelings. Acknowledge them. Allow yourself time to process them. Step away from the board games. Switch off YouTube and Instagram. Spend time with friends and family. Go outdoors. Then put on your poker face and be a professional. A rejection from a publisher is not an attack. It says nothing about your game's value or potential. It's certainly not a reflection on you as a person. It's a business decision, a cold, impersonal, objective evaluation of risk, cost, positioning, and timing. And it might be a poor decision, but that's out of your control. Don't give in to the instinct to fight your corner. Don't try to persuade a publisher that their decision was wrong. They'll not change their mind, and you will destroy your relationship with them. Your game is important to you, but it is not you. Criticism of your game is not criticism of you. Detach your self-worth from your game. Once you've allowed some distance, little time to acknowledge and process the negative emotions which inevitably come with a rejection, it's time to reflect. Why did the publisher reject the game? Is there anything I could have done differently to avoid the rejection? Are there problems which need addressing with the game itself? Was my pitch clear and engaging? Was this the right publisher for the game? Is there anything I could do differently in the future? Did they provide feedback about the reason for the rejection? And can I use this feedback to improve my offering for other publishers? Give yourself a little bit of time before responding to a rejection email. Responding while in an emotional state is a mistake. You might say something you regret. The correct response is to thank the publisher. That's right, thank them. It's important to prioritize a future relationship with that publisher by demonstrating that you are a thoughtful professional. I've met with one publisher annually at Spiel in Essen for over a decade. I've shown him upwards of 30 prototype games. He's rejected all of them. But he always invites me back. He's always welcoming and keen to see what I'm working on, and the rejection is never personal. If the publisher didn't provide any feedback with their rejection, don't be afraid to request it, politely. This reflects well on you as a humble designer keen to develop your skills. I've had bizarre feedback given where I've had to remain professional and stifle a laugh. They've compared my game to a totally unrelated game to which it bears no resemblance, or they've made a blatantly uninformed statement about the industry or current trends. There is no point in arguing your corner. They've made up their mind. Smile, say thanks, and move on. I've had very reasonable feedback given where the game just doesn't fit the publisher's plans. That's a great opportunity to find out what their future plans are and design more games which might fit it better. Timing is often a factor. I once pitched a city-building dice game to a publisher who liked the game very much, but they rejected it because they had licensed a different city-building dice game the previous week. I've had rejections because of component cost. Perfectly reasonable. I'll pitch it somewhere else. I've had rejections where they like the game, but they don't think their core audience would enjoy it. Or perhaps it's too light or heavy for their usual crowd. That's totally understandable. I've had rejections where they just didn't enjoy the game. Well, that's a little harder to take, but it's not unexpected. There's no game that suits everyone. Other publishers might love it. Sometimes colleagues within a publishing company disagree about a game's potential, and this can result in a huge reversal. One publisher I pitched to was effusive with her praise. I was sure of a positive outcome, but the art director couldn't see the theme working, so the game was rejected. The most challenging have been rejections where a publisher tells me that the game is very good, but not marketable right now, usually because of trends in the market. If one publisher says this, I take it with a pinch of salt and I move on. But if multiple publishers say the same thing, that's a worry. I might push on with finding another publisher, but expect poor sales, or I might shelve the prototype for a few years. Either way, it feels bad. Whichever way it goes, I try never to take it personally. I'm very critical of games myself that I play, so why should publishers be any different? The most successful designers are the ones who keep going despite setbacks. Stay motivated, keep learning, and don't give up. One publisher does not define your future. Try to remember why you started designing games in the first place. Rejection doesn't have to mean the end of your game's journey. You still have plenty of options. Option 1. Go back to the drawing board. Use the feedback you've received to develop your game. Recommence rigorous playtesting. Focus those tests on addressing any shortcomings identified by the publisher. But remember, a rejection from one publisher does not mean that your game needs an overhaul. Option 2. Pitch to other publishers. Most of my published games were each pitched to anything from 5 to 20 publishers. Very few of them received more than one offer of publication. One publisher does not speak for the entire industry. Try to find a better fit. Sometimes it's a numbers game. Option 3, self-publish. Some designers who've experienced rejection from publishers choose to self-publish instead. I think it's a risky approach. If multiple publishers have not seen market potential in your game, then there may be flaws that you haven't yet addressed. Running a successful crowdfunding campaign requires significant financial investment up front. This doesn't seem like a strong foundation to start from. And option 4, adjust your goals. Accept that there is no market for your game, but refine and enjoy it anyway. There's no shame in creating a game which you only ever play with your friends and family. You could even consider investing in a high-quality professional prototype using a print-on-demand service. It may never hit the market, but it can still be a treasured item in your collection. Rejection is hard to take, but that doesn't mean that there aren't positives to be gained along the way. Arranging a pitch meeting with a publisher is an achievement in itself. You're doing something right. And now you've got an industry contact, you can build on that. This could become a lasting professional relationship, someone you pitch to year after year. You've gained some detailed feedback about your game, but this feedback isn't from a playtester. It's from an experienced industry professional. Use it to improve your product. Each of these small steps is progress. Focusing on these little wins will help you to stay motivated and positive even when faced with rejections. So if you want to learn more about the process of getting your games to market, pick up my book, Adam in Wales, Getting Published from Amazon, either as an ebook or paperback. It's currently available worldwide, as are my previous 3 books about playtesting, product design, and my Board Game Designer journal. And if you do read any of these books, please do leave me an Amazon review. It makes such a difference to me and in getting the books seen by other designers. Best of luck with getting your games published.